Hi, Gráinne. It's the other Gráinne here from Wise Buddha Tarot. Just getting back to you on your 7 card reading. So just to go through my process, I know I've read for you loads of times before. So I picked 6 tarot cards and 1 oracle card. I know you've asked me a couple of questions about your dad, work-wise, and also about one of your kids. I hope you're doing okay. I was thinking of you actually before I was even pulling the cards. I know it's probably been really tough for you after losing your lovely daddy. So we'll see if he's around you. I do feel there's an awful lot of emotions. It's kind of, it feels a little bit chaotic energy around you. I don't know what's going on, but we'll see anyway when the cards turn around and see what comes up. Seems to be a lot going on. So let's dive right into it, okay? And we'll see what's happening. So the first card is the Oracle card, and that kind of sets the tone for the reading, and that will really tell me what the other cards are all about, okay? And it's also sort of an outcome, so it can tell you exactly what's going to be happening. I haven't turned over any of the cards, so let's just see. Okay, we'll turn them all over now while I have you here. Okay, interesting. I love doing this because I get a surprise myself. Nearly like doing face to face. Okay, right. So this one is from my Shadow and Light Oracle. And this one is just answers exactly what you wanted to know, funnily enough. And it says, out trick-or-treating. And underneath it says, we're here. Okay, so this is all about spirits, okay, around you. And it's giving me October vibes. All right, so Halloween here. So I'm not sure if you know how important Halloween is to us as Irish people. But anyway, the whole month of October basically is dedicated, and the 1st of November, which you probably know is All Souls Day, is dedicated to our ancestors and our dearly departed, those who have passed over into another, I'll say dimension is probably the best way, regardless of your religious connotations, whether you believe in heaven or an afterlife, it makes no difference. They pass away from this earthly plane, okay? But they're around us in some form, in spirit, in energy, as part of source, universe, the whole thing that we live in, the matrix, whatever you want to call it, it makes no difference. Energy is energy. Okay, so it starts in October. We honor our ancestors and our dead. And then on the 31st of October, as you know, Halloween comes from All Hallows Eve. And in pre-Christian times in Ireland, it would have been called Samhain, which means summer's end. It's also the Irish word for November. And on Halloween, which will be an important time for you this year, in October in general, just be an important time for you, we honor our dead, our ancestors, our spirits. Now, the best way for me to explain this, without getting too technical, is so the energy leaves the physical body. And sometimes when somebody passes over and they die, you can actually see that they take their last breath. It's quite a deep, and then the spirit is released. Now, you can't sometimes physically see it, but you feel it. And so there can be a sense of peace for that person as they pass over, free from their pain, although they don't like leaving you behind, but they are free from the constraints of their mortal body. And it's very painful for those left behind in grief and in mourning, but for them, it's a beautiful moment. They're released from anything that they were dealing with, okay, any illness, etc. And so their energy is absorbed back into the universe, basically. And while we can't necessarily see it, especially not immediately, when somebody dies, I think people expect that they go to mediums and they hope that they're going to get messages and stuff through. But honestly, in my experience, it takes up to a year, sometimes up to 18 months before you really the energy is strong enough to come back and start giving you signs. All right. So on the 31st of October, the veil, it's called, witchy people call it, the veil between the two worlds, the two dimensions between us here in our mortal form and spirit and energy becomes very thin. It gets thinner as October goes through, from the 1st of October right through the 1st of November. And so spirits start to make themselves known to us. So that's where we get Halloween from. Long story, we dress up as spooky things to scare any malevolent spirits off. But we also honour our dead and our ancestors on the 31st of October and the 1st of November, All Souls Day. We light a candle. Sometimes we do what's called as a dumb supper. We prepare a dinner and we leave a place for them at our family table to honour them. Okay, so that might be something you might be interested in, but that's the actual basics of it. So I can describe it in terms of sometimes animals like cats, dogs, etc. They hear and sense things, especially sounds that are on a much higher vibration or frequency than us. And so they'll hear things coming or they'll sense things that we cannot see or hear. So that's the best way to describe the spirit world. Your father's energy is around you. It's mixed in with everything that's going on around you, but you cannot physically see him or hear him right now. But he will make himself, this is very clear here from the trick-or-treating, we're here. He's telling you, come October, he is going to be around. Now, I know you're probably very aware of the robins, the indicating a soul that's been passed. And also there's other signs that you can see, coins on the ground, pennies from heaven, and feathers. But what I got was very specific. And this would take quite a lot of effort for your lovely daddy to do. But I want you to pay attention when yourself and your daughters are in the kitchen, okay? And your son as well. If you're in the kitchen, things are going to fall, all right? I'm not talking about poltergeist things moving. Things are going to fall that wouldn't normally fall. Okay, so I'm not talking about a lid on the side of the cooker or the cabinet or whatever. I'm talking about something literally just, like a tea caddy just toppling over. And that might be a little bit scary, okay? Now, I know you're open to it. You're very intuitive. But what I want you to do is to go, is that you, Dad? When it happens, and it will happen, okay? And the more you acknowledge it, not be scared of it, the more you'll see and the more you'll hear. And you'll start to get songs, specific songs that are important, okay? I think I said that to you before. Well, please be aware, I've had this with people who get terribly upset. They go to mediums and they get nothing and they're like, why aren't they talking to me? It does take a tremendous amount of effort for them to transition into our realm and, show you something or make sounds or noise or make you aware that they're there. But they are there, and particularly starting the 1st of October to the 1st of November, please be open to it. And as soon as you see anything, even if it's a feather or whatever it is, a penny, even, that, a number's on a clock. If there's an important number in your life, if you see like 17 or something like that on a clock, acknowledge it, say it out loud. Thank you. I saw that. Thanks, Dad. I know that was you. Because they love to hear it and they love to get the feedback, and then they will give you more. So I very much feel he's around you, but he just hasn't got the strength at the moment. It takes quite some time for them to come through into this physical world. They're on, if you imagine us in a third dimension, they're kind of in a fifth dimension. Okay, they're in a much higher vibration and frequency where there's no pain, there's no sadness. It's just peaceful. Okay. And for them to come down to us, it's really lowering themselves down to us. It takes a great deal of time and effort. So please pay attention. October is a really important month for you. And you are going to get very definite signs. So just be open to it. And when you do see it or hear it, just say, thanks, Dad. I know that was you. Just say, I know it was you, because who else would it be? It is him. And he very much wants to show you. Okay. So I hope that answers your questions about your lovely daddy. Bless him. All right. Now, going on to you right now. We have the death card. Yeah. I know nobody likes to see this because it's scary. It's linked with Scorpio, which is the end of October, November, funnily enough. Now, there's two aspects to this, It means, obviously, you're dealing with grief. All right. And that's a long road. There is a cycle. You know that the 7 stages of grief. I'm sure you're familiar with it. And I don't know if it ever really goes away, having lost people myself. The hole is still there. It doesn't get any smaller. But what happens is you build your life around it and you come to accept it in some small way. Okay. And you have your wonderful memories. And you're going to start seeing signs that they are there. And this is going to, and the second aspect of it, this is also going to deepen your relationship with spirits, because I know you're very intuitive, and I think maybe people are afraid of death, and it is difficult. Of course it is. It's a huge grief and mourning for the people left behind, but death for the person is a natural cycle of life, as hard as that is to accept. It's not as hard for them as it is for us left behind. All right, so this is going to kind of open you up a little bit to the world of spirits. Okay, so don't be afraid. Okay, nothing is going to come through that you can't handle. All right, but you are going to start getting much closer to your ancestors. I do believe that, you know, you're very intuitive, and I think it's a genetic thing. I think it's actually in your family. That's what I feel, because it's in mine, and a lot of people I know that are that open to things, and it's something it's almost passed down in your DNA. It's like a memory. Okay. Now, on the other side, this also heralds a new beginning. As you can see, the horse's movement, it's moving forward. So it's the end of a cycle and a new beginning. Now, this can be, as I said, there's two aspects to it. One, you did ask about career. This is a new offer. It's a job offer. It can be a promotion, so up for something, moving on, moving up, right? But it also can mean, because it's the end of something and beginning of something new, it can mean being forced out or been asked to leave, or like, I don't mean redundancy, but like a retirement or moving away from something. It's a different path. Okay, so if it's a promotion and you're up for it, it's a new start. I think that's quite positive. But if that is not what's coming down the line for you, and the rest of the cards will show me, then I want you to look at plan B. Okay, always have a plan B, a change in career path, maybe something more close to home. That's what I'm getting. It could even be working from home, but it's definitely closer to you. So there's movement, physical movement as well. Okay. I also have to tell you, so that's good news, that there's definitely a shift. Okay. So you're not going to be, this time 6 months, you're not going to be in the same place work-wise that you currently are now. Okay. There's definitely movement. That stagnation is over. End of something, new beginning. This can also herald the end of a relationship. Sorry, yeah, not the nicest. But I have to tell you the truth. There's absolutely no point to me, sugarcoating stuff. It's the end of a relationship that somebody, that person can't be counted on as much as before. All right, they're not as available to you as they were. Now, that can be a love relationship, we'll see on the rest of the cards, or it can be even a friendship or a family member. Okay, but somebody has shown that, they're not really as supportive or as available to you as they were. So there's a little bit of sadness there. It's mixed. It's good and bad. A good movement. Definitely connecting into your Scorpio intuitive side there. October, November, again, mirroring what we have here in the trick or treat and Halloween time. Big important time for you. Don't know why, but it is. So important things are showing up for you. But it is also heralding, death does mean the end of something that allows you to move forward. So if you try and look at it in terms of, okay, well, I'm leaving certain things behind me that no longer serve me, let them go with grace, okay, and move forward to what's coming your way. So let's have a look at that and see. All right, so what we have here is, jumping cards, Ace of Pentacles that was in a blockage position. So that's across your new movement. So let's see what that has to say. All right, so the Pentacles is about money and career, as you know, the coins, and the Ace is 1. It's always an offering, always, 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 always an offering, a new start. Okay, so it's in the blockage position at the moment. That's right now. Okay, so we'll see what the other cards have to say. So this might be a completely different move for you. All right, it is coming, but it's not here yet. So you will be offered something, but it's stagnant at the moment. So if you've applied for something you haven't heard back, I'm getting that you applied for a rank or promotion, you haven't heard back yet. Okay, it is coming. It's on the way, and we look at the other cards related to that. This also heralds, it could be a gift of money, and it's also just stability in your finances. Okay, stability in your finances. So if you look at this, it's the hand with the coin, so it's an offering, and it's also a blessing. Okay, so it's good news there. It's, if you're asking about, am I going to get that promotion? Am I going to get that new job? Absolutely, it's on the way. It's just not here yet, Gra. Okay, it's because it's in your blockage position. So yeah, I don't know what obstacles are there. They're not of your making, but it is coming. All right, it's on the way. So yeah, just relax. It's coming. Okay, now what else do we have? Okay, so we have 2 cups cards. What needs to be seen? What needs to be seen right now? And this is the lovely Page of Cups. Okay, so the page is giving feminine energy here. All right, getting this water sign, so Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. A little bit of choppy water, which means that, yeah, can be very turbulent, a bit up and down. A page is generally a young adult, so teenager from the age of 12, and I get in feminine energy. So I believe that this is your eldest daughter. And this card is all about sensitive energy, water energy, emotive, overwhelmed, noise. See the turbulent, choppy, see? Noise, temperature, electronics, just overstimulated. And that would feed into what you had said about the diagnosis of ADHD. Very, very sensitive person. Okay, hugely intuitive like yourself. So there's something there. Really, really would recommend grounding, getting out in nature, walks, getting the energy out in a physical way. I don't know if she plays sports or that, but getting out, hands in the earth, going for walks and forest, etc., to calm down that nervous system. She feels spirits. That doesn't mean she hears them or sees them, but she feels them. There's noise in her head. Okay, it's like, that static, like that, horrible. And that must be very sort of traumatizing for her. Okay, so she needs a nice, safe space, calm. I know it's hard with teenagers. My son is glued to his phone. Try and keep her off the electronics as much as possible. All right, she will be very sensitive because of the fish and the water energy there to the moon, because the moon controls the tides, as I've said in another reading this week. And our bodies are 70% water. She is shown as a water energy element here. So look at the full moon and the new moon and just keep an idea of the dates, because depending on where she stands, she'll either be full of energy at the full moon, or the opposite, she'll be drained of energy at the full moon. I am very energetic during the new moon, okay, which is kind of like, it's 14 days after the full moon, and I'm tired at the full moon, which is the opposite way of the way most sensitives and witches work, but that's just to do with my energy. Okay, so I do my best work at the new moon, and I tend to hibernate at the full moon. So she'll be one or the other. Okay, so there will be a time in the month, and a lot of this affects the hormones as well. So just watch her around, the menstrual cycle and that. There'll be a time in the month where she'll be particularly sensitive, weepy and tired, and just allow her that time to chill out. If she has to stay in bed, try and stay off the electronics, because they're not good for the buzzing, that noise in the head. And then there will be a time where she'll appear just like absolutely, like myself, manic, just go, 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 go. All right. So just tune into that, because she is very sensitive, and people don't believe it. They say, oh, it's nonsense. But you can ask any nurse or emergency nurse or paramedics what happens at new moon and full moon. There's, I have a midwife friend, and she says more babies are born on the full moon than any other time. And also, there's a lot more accidents and crazy stuff happens around the moon, the new moon and the full moon in emergency departments. So it is a thing. All right. I would recommend also reflexology for her when she's feeling overwhelmed. It's a great way of hitting the energy meridians and calming down the parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, now I'm not a medical doctor. I believe in alternative practices, but that also take your cue from your medical practitioners, whatever they recommend. anything that I would say to you will be additional support for her. Okay? I don't want her to be scared about the spirits thing. She's very young still, and, I don't think anything, untoward is going to happen to her. Just as long as she stays grounded, and that means getting out bare feet as much as possible, even in the house, bare feet. Some grounding crystals, amethyst would be good, or black obsidian. I'll message you those so you know what I'm talking about. Around her, smoky quartz also, to keep her protected. I believe this is also can be food related. I think I said this to you before, Gráinne. Again, it's not medical advice. I'm not a doctor, but this is just what I'm picking up in terms of energy, where the energy centers are. So the solar plexus would be kind of yellow-orange energy around the stomach above the navel. And what I'm getting there from both of you is some sort of food sensitivity. Now, it could be gluten. I don't know. It could be sugar. It could be anything. It could be an additive. I have an allergy, and my son has the same allergy to particular colouring. And my nephew has the same allergy. And it stops us from eating food that's orange, even orange juice if it's not pure orange juice. Now, that is genetic, because I've passed it on to my son, and my sister has it and she's passed it on to her son. So I feel there's a genetic sensitivity here to something that you're ingesting. It may not even be food. I don't know. It could be something in your environment. But I would like you to get some sort of allergy testing done, okay, for both of us, because there's something that you need to eliminate from your diet, from your environment. I'm just going to say environment. That is not helping you. That isn't the cause of any of this, but it's not helping. All right? So look into that. Yeah, she needs to be wrapped up a little bit in cotton wool for the moment, because I think this is all very raw and new. And it can, just watch out for even low moods, because sometimes, when you get a diagnosis, it can make you feel different. And nobody wants to be, especially at that age, nobody wants to be different, or, standing out. But, realistically, we're all very different. And I think we all have our idiosyncrasies, So, yeah, just look after her for the moment. I know you will. But I think she'll be okay. Just, please get the sensitivity checked out. There's something there. I'm not really sure what it is, but I definitely feel it. It's in both your solar plexus areas. Now, that is around the stomach and digestion. Okay, so what you take in. It can also be environment, but it also is an area where you stomach emotions. Okay, I know, because I've had my own digestive issues. All right. And that is the area in terms of energy that you use for will, for wanting to do things. So it's important to have that balanced for both of you. Okay? Hope that helps. All right, that's your lovely page. Now, we have another cups. 4 cups. God, this is the 3rd time this has come up this week. I don't know what's going on. But this is important for you. So you'll see the 3 cups. This is stuff that's you're focusing on, and you're not seeing what you're being offered there. Okay? So you have your offering here. But this is about love and emotions. Cups are about love and emotions. So you're focusing on other things, and you're not seeing what you have or what you're being offered. So what I really, really, really want you to focus on is your blessings. Be grateful for what you have, okay? Instead of worrying about what you don't have. One thing I will say about you have a lot of love around you, but also I want you to adopt an attitude of gratitude. Now you might think, oh, this sounds all very, la la la. But the reason why is you're very powerful energy, as I said, in your solar plexus, which is your will, which is how you get things done. And you can be a really fantastic manifester. You probably know this, but at the moment, what you're doing is you're manifesting in the things you don't want by focusing on them, if you understand what I mean. I'm not giving out. That's just, we all do that in a certain amount of ways. So if you clear that solar plexus block and you focus on an attitude of gratitude, been really grateful for the blessings that you do have, your kids, your job, your health, etc., you will start to manifest amazing blessings into your life, even more than you have. Okay, so what I'd like you to do, I'll send you a meditation. It's only about 15 minutes long, and it's a 21-day. You do it for 21 days, and it's just, listen to it just before you go to bed at night. It's a gratitude meditation, and it does change your life. You'll start to see things just turnaround in your life. Okay, so get yourself a little notebook and write down every day 3 things you're grateful for. I am grateful for today, Maltesers. It doesn't matter. It makes no difference what you're grateful for. But you find 3 things every day, and I promise you it will shift your energy into a really, really, really higher vibration. And you want that because you want to be able to connect with your spirits and with your ancestors. Okay? So yeah, you have lots of love around you. You have your Page of Cups, and I want you to see what it is you have. All right. Now, moving on to the past. So this is you now. This is your future. This is you in the past. Your past. Knight of Wands. Yeah, not liking this. Sorry, but gonna be straight up. Okay, so the Knight of Wands is reversed, which means his energy is disappearing, and he's in your past, which means he's not translating forward into your future. Yeah. What I'm getting with this is that this is, again, it goes back to your Death card here. It's a relationship you need to let go of. It's not working for you. Now, generally the Knight of Wands is a redhead, but I don't believe that this is a red. It's a dark haired person. But I call it the big red. Okay, the big red energy. You know what I'm talking about. The hot-headedness, the temperamental, the stubbornness, the need to be right. This person starts things, doesn't finish them. Rushes in, disappears. You know, that kind of inavailability. Yeah. In one day, out the next day. This is your partner, husband. I don't see much hope for this going forward. Now, that doesn't mean, you know, you're going to break up immediately or anything like that. But I just think that this is not serving your needs. It's not fulfilling what you need anymore. Hope I'm wrong about that. But if this card was over here, even reversed, I would say, well, you know, the energy is building up. But it's reversed and in the past. So I think there's a few issues there. And if you want to continue it, of course, that's up to yourself. You have free will. I'm just showing you what you need to see. Okay, so while it might not be the nicest to hear, I'd rather just tell you the truth than, you know, sugarcoat it and make it into something it's not. This feels done to me. Okay? And it's best to leave it where it is. All right? Because you need to move forward for you, for your family. Okay, it's not the nicest thing, but yeah, we move. Okay, so what's coming down the line in the next 3 to 6 months? Okay, so we have another major arcana card. We had one here in the Death, and we have one here in the Star. Now, the Star is probably my favorite card in the tarot. It means yes. If you asked a question, it means yes. Yes, 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 yes. It is a wish card, one of the few cards in the tarot that is a wish card. So it means your heart's desire is coming to you. All right? So it's good news all around. It is linked with the water signs and also Aquarius. As you can see, the water signs here. Okay. I do believe here that your Page of Cups is going to be fine. All right? Because yeah, we have lovely healing energy here. So all is going to be good. It's also linked to travel, and again, movement. We have the stars. So I definitely see a move in a lot of areas. Relationship, money is going to improve. Any health issues will be okay. It's going to be all right. So basically, you know, your stars are aligned here. There is movement to a much better space in your life. Okay? You couldn't ask for a better card. You really couldn't. So everything that's on your mind, there seems to be a lot going around. It's all going to be okay within 6 months, absolute max. I'd say 4, to be fair. All right. So you have your 2 major arcana, important cards. Death, that's a new beginning, leaving things behind you that no longer serve you. And then everything is going to be okay. All right. So while I have you on, I'll pull a Divine Guidance card. I may as well. And that's your 7 cards. So very mixed bag there, Gráinne. We have, you know, some good news around your dad and your work-wise, health is going to be okay. Finance is going to be much better. I want you to be a little bit more grateful for everything you have, but you are leaving things behind as well. Okay. So there is some sadness and there is some grief here as well. I know that you're dealing with that. You have a lot on. I feel you have a lot on. You could do with some support there. So let me just see what the divine guidance is saying here. Okay. Dreams. You probably won't be able to see that, so I'm going to read it for you. Dream sleep is like tidying a room. Things to store and things to throw away. Dreamless sleep is rest. Occasionally there comes a moment when you receive a dream so different and so real that the memory stays with you when all other dreams are long forgotten. You have now been touched by the wisdom of the universe, communicated through senses imparted quicker than a breath. It is not the images but the feeling that it leaves you with. Treasure this feeling as it reminds you that you are so loved, and you absolutely are. You've a lot of love around you. Okay, that's lovely. And we'll just give you another shadows and light oracle here while I have you on, and we'll wrap up our reading. So let's see, what does Gráinne need to say right now? Not me, the other Gráinne T. Okay. Aww. Yeah. We have, isn't she pretty? Our candy cane angel. It's time for a treat. Oh, it's a little candy cane. It's cute. Remind me of Christmas. Okay, so what this card is telling you, it's time to take a little bit of time off, some self-care, do something sweet, fun for yourself and kids, or even with your girlfriends. Yeah, it's time for a treat. Treat yourself to something nice, particularly something sweet. Okay. Things have been tough for you. There's a lot going on, and you could do with a little bit of some, me time. Be good to yourself. Okay. Yeah, mixed bag for you, but hopefully that answers your questions. And of course, if you have any, you want any more clarification on anything, please come back to me with your questions, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right, brightest blessings to you, my pal. Take care. Bye.